What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you these 40 facts. Just kidding. Today is not a 40 facts video. Today I want to talk about a comic that is very near and dear to me. Now, if you guys don't know, I do read comics. I talked about it a little bit in the video from last week titled This One Time at a Hobby Shop. But anyway, I've been reading comics for quite a while now. Obviously, I read Marvel comics. Those have always been my go-to. I believe I started, I don't know, years ago. I can't even tell you exactly when it happened. But I want to say my favorite Marvel story has to be Siege. So that's the one with the Sentry, Wrecking stuff, and Asgard, and Thor, and the Dark Avengers, and whatnot. That was a really cool story. And then I read a little bit more on DC. But I never really got into the DC. I always felt like their characters were too overpowered, but I did like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. But anyway, that's besides the point. The video here is about Invincible. So if you don't know what Invincible is, it is a comic that was created by Robert Kirkman. If you don't know who Kirkman is, he's the creator of The Walking Dead. And he was created also by Cory Walker. Now, Walker was the illustrator, and this all happened back in 2003. So eventually, Cory Walker kind of I wouldn't say stepped away, but he wasn't the artist anymore, and Ryan Ottley came up to it. So Ryan Ottley is amazing. Like, I just love the way he draws. His art is just fantastic, and because of this, he really brought alive the great storytelling that Kirkman writes to a whole new level. Each emotion just resonates with you. Each drop of blood gets more and more gruesome, and man, does this comic get bloody. So anyway, Invincible is a superhero comic, and it tends to bring a more realistic approach to this universe. So the hero doesn't always come out on top, the villains do sometimes end up winning, and their actions always have consequences. People die, and they stay dead. Now, this is something that sometimes doesn't really happen too often in DC or Marvel comics. So these deaths aren't just for shock value or to bring in sales. Kirkman has actually stated, and this I quote, "The point of this series has always been to celebrate what we love about superhero comics, but always to put our spin on it, to play with the tropes of the genre, but to trust them and twist them into something new at all times, no matter what." So basically, this is saying we all know what the superhero comic books entail. You know, they bring hope, action, that kind of thing, but he's given it a whole new take, something you've never seen before. Because when you talk about Marvel and DC, you've always got, Superman's dead, but he's going to come back. Wolverine dies, but he's going to come back. So because of this, it kind of downplays the emotions that the writers want you to have, because obviously when there's a death, you want to feel sadness, remorse, but when you know they're coming back, it kind of lessens these things for you. But anyway, let's continue on with this little mini review slash overview of Invincible. So again, let me actually talk about the story. So this comic essentially revolves around Mark Grayson, the son of Omni-Man, who is a powerful hero. So in the beginning, Mark tries to understand his powers, and he tries to balance being a hero while also living his teen life, which of course consists of school, girls, and the most important thing is finding out who you actually are. Finding your inner you. But just because you have powers doesn't mean you get to skip having acne on picture day and that kind of thing. So you get to have that little slice of life kind of feel with it. But basically what I'm trying to say is it's very down to earth, very relatable. These characters are highly relatable. You quickly feel for them. You quickly understand what they're going through. And that's where Kirkman's writing shines the best. But again, since this is a superhero comic, without spoiling too much, there is betrayal, you've got war, intergalactic invaders, there's a freaking dinosaur, you've got tons and tons of bloody battles, and even Freddie Mercury is in it. Well, not really, but he kind of looks like him. Anyway, I can't recommend this comic enough. It is my favorite comic of all time, and if you check it out, you can easily see why. Now, yesterday, the final issue finally came out, and I am filled with happiness and sadness all in one because it's such a damn good ride throughout these, 15 years? Yeah, it's been 15 years, guys. That's crazy. I mean, throughout these years, while reading this book, I've laughed, I've been angry, I've cheered, hell, I've even cried a few times. It's that crazy. And if by some crazy reason the creators watch this video, just want to say thank you. Thank you for years of hard work and dedication towards the best superhero. No, scratch that. The best comic book in the universe, Invincible.